We install cameras and sensors in the store and transform into a digital store. So it's first for consumers and shoppers to enjoy the frictionless shopping experience, but also optimize the operation for the retailers.
Welcome back to Heja Framtiden, the Swedish podcast on the future. My name is Christian von Essen. I am recording here today from Epicenter in Stockholm, where there is something called SIME Leader Sessions, very interesting conference. I'm here today with Jenya Beilin from a company called Trigo. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
A company based in Israel, is that correct?
Correct. They're headquartered in Israel. Already we expanded to Europe. We are based in UK, London, and in Germany as well. And looking forward to United States and Asia.
Okay. So not here in Sweden yet.
Yet. That's why I'm here.
That's why you're here. Exactly. Spread the word. So this is an interesting solution for retail automation in a way. Can you walk us through the innovation that you have come up with?
Right. So the technology is to outfit or retrofit an existing retail environment where shoppers can walk in, grab their items, and just walk out. No need for scanning anything, no waiting in lines for cashiers. Just walk out and get the receipt on their mobile devices. We install cameras and sensors in the store and transform into a digital store. So it's first for consumers and shoppers to enjoy the frictionless shopping experience, but also optimize the operation for the retailers.
Most people maybe think of like Amazon Go, which is a first example of this, right? But their shops are quite small still, and you are looking to implement this in, so like you said, existing retail environments where a larger grocery store could also easily implement this technology.
Correct. So Amazon building stores from scratch to fit the technology, where we come to an existing retail environment already and retrofit it. Also the size and the product range. So we support all the lost produce, frozen items, age-restricted coffee machines, tobacco, anything that exists already in the store without reducing or limiting the product range.
That's really interesting. And how does it work in practice? It's not sensors, right? Is it smart shelves?
So it's a combination. It's a sensor fusion solution, primarily based on cameras on the ceiling of the store, using computer vision and AI to capture movement of the shoppers in the store and how they interact with the items, and also classifying the items that they pick. So that's the primary solution.
Okay, so it's not like the items they don't have a code on them?
Correct. The items are untouched at all. They're also constantly changing in the retail environment. New items are coming in, packages rebranded. So we're not touching the products at all. We're not touching the supply chain. We don't change the operation. Use the same products, same layout in the store, put them on the shelves. It's all done using computer vision and AI to recognize the items that are on the shelf.
And does the system recognize me as a customer as well? I mean, from facial recognition?
Right, it's a good point. So we are GDPR compliant. So we don't recognize at all. Everything is blurred. We track as a random ID or a skeleton of the shopper. Then the connection happens on the retailer side, where you put your payment. They have the information, not tracking any biometrical of the shoppers.
Okay. So the cameras will be all over the store, I guess.
On the ceiling.
And they will know if I take an avocado which is not organic, or an avocado which is organic. They will notice when I pick it up, and then they will follow me through the checkout. But if I put it out of the basket, it will not be counted. And if I change stuff in my basket, it would also be updated immediately. I suppose you have run thousands of tests like this.
Yeah, so you are correct. So the interaction is captured when you pick up an item from the shelf or put it back. Once you pick it up, it's added to your list, to your virtual basket. If you put it back on the shelf, it will be reduced. We also use a lot of sensors in the store to capture exactly which items you pick up. And in terms of the tests, we have our first stores already live in London with Tesco, where it's operational for over a month already. So it's definitely out there and working. Same in Cologne in Germany. And with other partners, we're going to launch soon additional stores. So it's beyond the phase of just testing and pilot. It's actually out there for customers.
And sorry for being very detailed here, but if I pick up my milk from the shelf, it's added to my cart, and then I just put it somewhere else in the store and go to the checkout.
So we support those cases. The most common is that you'll put it on a different shelf anywhere. Yeah. That's fine. We'll capture that. Even there is a solution, even if let's say you drop it and it's spilled by accidentally, there is a process where you can reduce it from your list as well.
Okay. So now you're in a rollout phase, and you mentioned an expansion plan as well. But you had another operating system coming up soon. I saw it on the webpage. Is that the next product?
So we discussed primarily the checkout solution. This is what's more evident and customer facing. But on top of the same platform, same foundation, there are many, many additional application solutions for the retailers, such as planogram compliance, operational efficiencies, gap scanning. So the blind spot of what happens on the shelf at every given point in time for retailers is no longer a black box. They constantly can know what's going on the shelf, then plan their replenishment process, plug it into supply chain, and optimize the entire operation on the sales floor.
And I suppose, if we talk about Tesco, I would assume that they have been able to lay off people, cashiers, or do you know if they have other tasks now?
Yeah, it's a good point. Obviously, I think Tesco and any other retailer have different plans or thoughts, and probably best have them comment. But from what we've seen so far, it's just adding more interesting transition jobs where people are transitioning from being a traditional scanning at the cashier line. They actually can do other customer-facing jobs, more interesting planning, and adopt the retail environment for this new automation phase. On top, being it's optimizing the operation, they can even open more stores. Some of the issues we're seeing is that the lack of manpower or labor. Having automation in place, you actually can open more jobs, more stores, more customer-facing interface.
So you can say that even though cashiers, that's not a future work you should aim for, but working in retail is.
Exactly. That's a very good point. Retail is becoming more rich in terms of what services it can offer. And I think the shift in what type of jobs and opportunities it will present in retail just growing, not reducing. You write a pure job of that scanning items, which I think will transition to different aspects of the job.
Do you see this future? I mean, now we're talking about like grocery stores or supermarkets. Do you see this happening in every retail sector?
Definitely. The foundation of the system is the same. The AI doesn't care whether it's an avocado or something else. Yeah. So the system and the foundation, the way it works, definitely is going to transition to other retailers as well. That's going to change in types of shapes and how to adapt it and adjust it. But definitely the next step will be to expand it beyond grocery.
Yeah. And in this case, you would have to pre-enter your credit card details, right? So that your card is in the system. How would it work if you walk into a fashion retailer? Do we could see a future where the system would automatically detect that it's you and your card, even though it's a store I've never been to before?
Right. So I think it will be your choice as a consumer. You'll have the choice whether to share the information and at what point. It's going to be full control in terms of privacy. Once you do decide to share it, you'll see a huge pile of benefits of shopping. But if you decide not to, then the hybrid approach will remain. I think that's going to be the golden standard. People that want to remain traditional shopping, not sharing information, that's perfectly fine. They can still shop in the same shop, enjoy the products, enjoy the experience. And people who are ready to transition to this new phase and adopt will be able to share information privately and under all the regulations and then enjoy this amazing experience.
I suppose that the shoplifting aspect has been researched thoroughly. What can you say about those risks for the retailer? Is there any heightened risk with this system?
So I think in In general, the shrink will go down with those type of systems. There's much more control and information. Also, the mindset of shoplifters or the way you can shoplift from stores will transition. It will become much more difficult. It's never going to go down to zero. There are definitely going to be new ways. People will challenge the system, but as a whole, I think that it's much easier for the retailers to maintain a trust business versus the existing today.
And in Sweden, there's been a few actors opening up unmanned stores entirely. So you just have a box where you open the door with your app and identify yourself. Are you working with those kinds of companies as well?
There is an option also to do a smaller subset, as you mentioned, a box unmanned totally. So it's a subset of the solution we're offering. We are more aiming to those larger stores with more services and actually allowing customers to do want to engage with the retailer environment. They do want to come to a store. They want to see the products. They want to touch it. They maybe want to talk to people. They don't want to wait in line. They don't want to scan every single item. They just want to come, enjoy the experience, and then when they're ready, just walk out. I think it's a combination, although probably solutions like fully boxed, automated, unmanned will be out there as well and will serve their purpose. So I think it's not a one kind of a single solution. It's going to be a variety of those, and retailers and consumers will be able to choose.
Many people talk about the death of retail. Do you think that's more a way of saying the death of unsustainable business practices in retail?
Yeah, I would call it a reborn.
Yeah.
Has to reborn or transform.
Renaissance.
That's true. Yeah, but the retail is here. It's I think the pandemic year just emphasized that it's still here to stay. It is connected more to the online, and there is omni-channel solutions, but it's just reborn and transforming. I wouldn't say it's dying.
No, transforming into more like showroom styles of selling, that you maybe walk into the store, check out exactly what you want, and order online anyway, or vice versa. I mean, so it's sort of a fusion between the two worlds.
Yeah, if you think about fashion, for instance, you could search online for specific items you'd like, but then probably you'd want to go to your nearest store and just measure it or see how it fits you, and then you can combine the two. So if you searched it, you can, I want to measure this one. Perfect. When you walk into a store, it can be matched directly to you. So those type of combinations definitely going to work.
Yeah, because now it's still like a competition between shopping online or in retail.
Going to store, right?
Which is very stupid. Even if there's the same store, it could be like a franchise that is not connected to the online store, so they will not get my money, which is kind of stupid if it's even the same brand.
Yeah, it's lack of data. Shoppers that walk into a store, the store doesn't know anything. Yeah. Like who you are, why you walked in today, what type of items you're searching for, looking for. When you connect that, you can also imply regional searches. So you can see the trend in the specific region, what people are searching for, and then put those items forward in the store.
Yeah, and I actually had an episode with a company called Superb. They're working with this kind of data intelligence in the restaurant industry, so that when you book a restaurant, you will add your details, and the next time the staff will know your preferences and know your name, and that you have impaired hearing on your right side, so you will have to sit on the other side of the table, stuff like that. That you don't drink red wine but white wine, stuff like that. It's interesting, and it's also mind-blowing that we don't have this information already.
Yeah.
Like those industries that we're talking about, retail and restaurants, that they have no idea who the customer is.
Correct.
It's kind of fascinating, actually.
Yeah. The personalization, or you can choose whether you want to be identified and personalized or you just want to be a random shopper. It's your choice. But if you do choose to be personalized, then yes, there's a lot of data and that you can offer services that are more tailored to your needs.
I usually ask my guests, what is your best tip for making the world a better place in the future?
Wow, it's a tough one. For me, it's always, I guess it's people. I think in pandemic, it just was a Zoom focus on that. Opening the diversity and allowing more people to experience new stuff that they haven't done before. So the more people we can engage, the better.
Great. Do you have a good reading tip or a podcast tip?
I read a lot recently. The book I read was Omnivore Dilemma, about the food industry. So I'll recommend that.
What's it about?
It's
about the food system in general?
Food system in general, and how it transformed over the years and what it is today. And it's an interesting kind of a turning point and what it could become and should become in the future. So I would recommend that.
Yeah, I'm working a lot with those questions, so it's really interesting. And who do you think I should interview?
I think try to find some new entrepreneurs, new generation, new ideas, because I think they'll come with those ideas that will transform and will become the mainstream in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I think. And that's why startups are so interesting, because even many fail. The entrepreneurs themselves are so interesting. And the idea might be so interesting that even if it doesn't work now, it might work in the future. And they can become big companies in the future that will change the world in different aspects. So yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for joining the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
And check out trigo.tech for more information about this amazing retail automation system. Herframtiden.se, that's where you can find more information about the podcast, my other projects, lectures, books, etc. My name is Christian von Essen, and we are recording from Epicenter in Stockholm at Sime Leaders Sessions. Thank you so much for listening.